Siomra beag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sure Look, Sure Listen, the podcast that takes a pop at culture. Sure Look, Sure Listen.
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 Sure look, sure listen. Merry Christmas, one and all. I know there's 2 weeks left, but we're going to take our Christmas break after this. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Seasons, wishes and best greetings to... But sure, look, Benjamin, we don't have time for any of that. Because I have seen a couple of... Don't talk during my bit, Ben. That's the one rule. The one rule is I get to do this bit. Benjamin, I've seen Wednesday... with your favourite actress and mine, Jenna Ortega. And I've seen, a bit belated, but it's just come out on streaming, I've seen the film A Smile.
Oh, Smile.
Oh, that's what it's called in Spanish.
Yes, absolutely, Michael. And if that wasn't enough, and it really isn't
It's not,
this year, for a full old episode, Michael, we're going to be taking a look at the Mickeys. It's the 5th annual Mickeys, ladies and gentlemen. A chance for us to talk to everybody about... you know, what we liked this year, what we didn't like this year.
What we liked this year, what we didn't like, what disappointed us. Not everybody, Ben. Only a couple of hundred people.
Only a couple of hundred folks, Michael.
But sure, look, I think it's the same couple of hundred most weeks, so at least it's not the ether. Benjamin!
Yes!
Speaking of existential dread, I've seen the TV show Wednesday.
Very good, Michael. Is it chock full of existential dread?
So much existential dread, Benjamin. Benjamin, here's a little fact for you. Do you like facts?
I do. I love a good fact, Michael.
I have a little fact for you. Wednesday is Netflix's most popular streaming television programme ever.
That is fucking mental.
Isn't that mad, Benjamin? It has somehow it has ridden the wave of the crest of inexplicable Wednesday popularity.
I kind of understand the appeal of Wednesday. As a character. She's a very outside appealing character, isn't she? She's kind of the inner voice of many people who suffer under the yoke of hell as other people. You know?
Very, very good, yes.
And I think she's the little imp of the perverse that's like, oh man, I'd love to, do you know what? I'd love to throw piranhas in your bathtub and watch them eat you. And she just goes and does it.
Little science fact for you, Ben. They wouldn't.
No, they probably wouldn't, Michael. They don't go for that. They don't go in for all that.
No, the danger caused by piranhas is much over-exaggerated by media.
It's classic. It's classic big fish tank, Michael, trying to make you hate a beloved micro predator.
Freaking people out about bloody sharks, piranhas, quicksand, Benjamin. I wouldn't go near a desert for years.
I tell you what, Michael. I was lied to in my youth. I thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my 30s.
I'm telling you, very, very little impact on my life, Benjamin. Mushrooms, I was scared of mushrooms as a child.
They were going to mess with my mind, Michael.
Well, Benjamin, I watched an episode of The Wind in the Willows where Mr. Badger ate some mushrooms. But look, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Wednesday.
Yes,
Benjamin,
sorry, Wednesday.
The most popular programme that Netflix have ever pulled out. And I tell you what, it's all right.
Is it all right?
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I think you're right. It's the title character and the memeability of the title character that is really selling this, more so than the show itself.
I would have imagined that was the point. I mean, Jenna Ortega, so hot right now.
So hot right now, Benjamin, on TikTok and Instagram.
Gwendolyn Christie, so hot right now.
So hot right now, Benjamin, very tall, and she said it was the first time she ever felt beautiful on camera. Oh,
that's interesting, isn't it?
She must have been like, are you pleased? You're not going to ask me to play a big, giant, mannish woman, are you? And they said, no, you'd be like a lady.
You'd be a lady?
Yeah, I had a theory, Benjamin, that because they don't seem to emphasise her being freakishly tall for the first time I've ever seen her in something.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Well, I think I had a slight feeling the idea of casting such a tall lady as the headmistress was to make the adult actors who are playing kids feel a bit smaller.
That's a good theory. I like that.
I'm not sure if it's true.
Okay.
But when you have 21-year-old Jenna Ortega playing, I don't know, Wednesday was always supposed to be about 13, but it seems like they've aged her up here to about 16, 17.
Yeah.
But even then, having someone who's much physically taller than the kids, in inverted commas, does help sell the illusion that they are kids.
Oh, absolutely. This is the first time, Michael, looking at all the promo, it's the first time I've believed that an American high schooler is a high schooler and been surprised that she's not actually 16.
No, she's in her 20s, I think.
Well,
Benjamin.
Jenna Ortega looks very young. She's very childlike.
There's lots of makeup going on, you see. Benjamin, I tell you what, though.
Yeah.
The show itself, Benjamin. Have you ever seen the television network, the CW?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, it could be on that if you wanted.
C-dubs.
It's a very CW show.
Go on, tell me more.
Well, there's people.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. There's cliques, and there's people with hidden problems, and people.
Oh no!
It could be Riverdale. It could be the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Witch. It could be bloody anything. It could be any of those CW programs. It's not a notch above them. Maybe Ben, in terms of casting.
It follows that classic CW formula of everybody's got something going on.
Exactly. Everybody's got something going on. What's everybody's secret mystery, and who's the attractive person playing them?
That's the most important thing for the CW.
Yeah.
What is it like on the fuckability scale?
What is going on? Is everybody very attractive? Yes, good. Carry on then. Tell us a generic story. But this has the advantage of A-list casting, you see.
Gwendolyn Christie, so hot right now.
Gwendolyn Christie. It's got Welsh Monica Bellucci, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes, it is a Welsh Monica Bellucci. That's a very good shout, Michael.
Thank you very much. It's just combining a woman that she looks like and where she's from. And Benjamin, it's got Mexico's Luis Guzman. Guzman.
Is Luis Guzman from Mexico?
I don't know if he is or not. He might. Is
that going to get us in trouble? You going to get us in trouble?
He might be from Puerto Rico. He might be. I don't know where Luis Guzman is from, Benjamin. He's not in it very much, though, to be honest. The parents are sidelined a bit by having her go off to school.
That was the purpose, though, wasn't it? It was just to have a Wednesday show.
Yeah. It's all right. It's good. It's all right.
You were right, Michael. He's from Puerto Rico.
I thought he might be from Puerto Rico, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Look, you shouldn't ad-lib where people are from. Especially
it doesn't end well.
No, especially if you know they're from Puerto Rico, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know why you went, sure, look, to each their own, Michael. Go on, tell me a little bit more about this, Michael. Did you enjoy it? Have you been enjoying it?
It's all right. That's the best I can say about it. It's all right. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's quite memeable.
Michael. It sparked quite a controversy on the old TikTok.
Benjamin, I don't give a flying shite about TikTok controversies. Right, tell us about it so I can
No, it's too late now. You said you don't give a shit about my TikTok controversies.
Is it about gay baiting, Ben?
No, it's nothing about gay baiting, Michael. It's very interesting. So, the neurodivergent community, Michael, that being those on the autistic spectrum and or Asperger's and or ADHD, they love TikTok, Michael. 30-second content, 1 minute content. What's not to love? Yeah.
Just going to cut across you there. I don't believe Asperger's is in the diagnosis manual anymore.
Is it not?
I don't believe it is, but anyway.
Well, flip me sideways and call me a dirty, bloody, philandering son of a gun.
I bloody would, Ben. Any weekend I'd call you that.
Yeah, any weekend it took your fancy.
Flip you up over.
I'm fucking sick of Mick flips. But yeah, so anything to do with neurodivergency, Michael, it's quite interesting because a lot of the community have taken to Jenna Ortega's portrayal as something that is very, 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 very autistic.
Go on, yeah.
As in, Wednesday, as a characterization, displays many of the markers of autism.
All right, she's never blinking.
And she's become incredibly popular, Michael, with the normies, as the internet would call them. Okay. And many of the autistic community have taken to this and said, yet another reminder that people enjoy me from afar but don't actually understand the difficulties of dealing with somebody with autism up close. So they feel that, yes, it's very good portrayal, but it's a very watered down portrayal of the downsides of autism.
I don't know if she has autism, though, does she?
She doesn't. You see, this is the thing, Michael. This is the thing. Yes, absolutely. In your headcanon, Wednesday might be autistic, but it's never directly claimed in the series.
Didn't we have this exact conversation like 3 years ago about Drax the Destroyer?
I think we did, yeah. I think we did. She's just a dark little child, Michael.
Yeah. Played by an adult actress, though.
By an adult actress, yeah. Very interesting, Michael. Very interesting.
Pretty good. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's odd that it's certainly not on the back of the strength of the show that it is the most watched thing of all time. It's on the back of the popularity of the idea of the character and the popularity of the main actress. and the memeability of the show itself. That's what's really driving it.
Jenna Ortega's so hot right now.
So hot right now, Benjamin. But I wouldn't begrudge it the success because it's not terrible either. It's
Let
like
them
a
have it.
good CW show.
I think we're in the process of cancelling Tim Burton, but let them have it.
Sure, look, you can't cancel Tim Burton, Ben. He probably wants to be cancelled. He's so spooky.
He's a real spooky guy.
If he survived the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, what was that called? Sweeney Todd? If he survived that, he can survive anything, Benjamin.
What do you mean? What was going on with that?
It was rubbish.
Oh, it was rubbish. That's interesting.
Yes, it was
Michael.
rubbish. Yeah,
That was nearly a decade ago, Michael.
So long ago, back when Johnny Depp was so hot.
And the rest, Michael. That was more than a decade ago. I was still in secondary school when that came out.
When was that, Ben?
That would have been 2010 was the latest I could have been in secondary school.
Well, I'll look it up for you there. You spin your wheels and
You
I'll
look that up there. No, Michael, because we're on to your next thing and I haven't seen it. It's Smile, Michael. What's the only thing worse than being forced to exist? Being forced to exist with a smile, Michael. A smile, as they say in Spain.
Very esmile, as they say. They do say in Spain. Hola, ¿dónde está?
Esmile.
Esmile. Benjamin, I tell you what, I saw Smile the other day.
Go on, tell me more.
And it's a film and it's coming to get you. There's a smile monster and it's coming to get you. I hope you're ready.
Not a smile monster, Michael. Now, when I watched the trailer for this, Michael, it struck me as very much in the vein of the classic horror film Now, It Follows.
Yes, I was going to say, Benjamin, when I saw the trailer for this, I thought it would be like the classic hit horror film It Follows. But I'll tell you what, though. It kind of is and it kind of isn't.
Okay, go on.
It's a little bit more The Ring than It Follows.
Okay.
So, do you want? Well, I'll get into spoilers, Ben.
Let's do it, Michael. This has been out for a while, so give me your review. Hit me with both barrels, baby.
I'm going to hit you with 2 barrels of opinion, mild opinion. First of all, Benjamin, you know who's in it?
Who?
It's bloody Sosie Bacon in it. It's only Kevin Bacon's daughter.
What?
Yeah, little Bacon, little piglet,
little nepo baby.
Yeah, little. She's quite good though at acting. And you know who else is in it, Ben?
Go on.
The A Train is in it.
The A Train.
He's in it. Yeah.
Oh, look at him branching out from the boys.
Branching out from the boys, and the is his name Beaver? What was his name in Veronica Mars? Anyway, it's a real B-list cast, but they're all doing good work.
Oh,
it's great
putting in a solid performance.
So Ben, anyway, the plot of Smile, or as it's called in Spain, Esmile, is that someone comes and they say, "Oh, this thing has been following me for a week, and every time I see it, it's always smiling at me." And then, when they're around someone else, Benjamin, they suddenly start smiling themselves, and then they do a suicide.
Oh no!
And then the trauma of doing the suicide passes the curse or whatever onto the person who witnessed it.
Okay, interesting.
And then the smile starts following them around.
Oh.
So it feels initially like it's going to be like an It Follows sort of thing. But then the smile monster itself keeps like jumping out and going, boogly wooglies. And, you know, you don't see the smile monster, but it takes on the form of the people that you saw killing themselves, for example.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more The Ring in the sense that it's coming for you and your time is going to be up soon, and can you research the past quickly enough to find out what has caused it and find a way out of it.
Right.
And then that's obviously what the plot is, where young Kevin Bacon's daughter, Sosie Bacon, is going, I would love to find out what's going on here.
I swear to God you were saying Saucy Bacon.
That's her name. S-O-S-I-E.
It is. It's Saucy Bacon, buddy.
That's her name. That's the woman's name.
That's the woman's name. I can't help it. He obviously came to Ireland, had a breakfast roll, and went, you know what, this would be a great name for a daughter.
Yeah. That is 100% her name, Ben. Just in case you want to look that up, I'm not joking.
No, I believe you.
It's just her name is Saucy Bacon.
Okay.
It's not a joke. That's just that lady's name, and it's only funny in Ireland.
Benjamin. It's quite funny. Yeah.
So I tell you what, she's great mates with Annette Curtin. Benjamin, I tell you what. What am I saying? Anyway, it's more The Ring in the sense of, you know, I've been exposed to a curse and I'm going to research history and try and find out what caused the curse and see if I can stop it. But in the meanwhile, it keeps jumping out and scaring me.
Why does it keep jumping out and scaring people? Is that its job?
It feeds on trauma, Ben.
Oh, okay. So it just wants to cause as much possible trauma as it can.
Exactly, because it goes, I love this delicious trauma.
Bit like Harvey Weinstein.
A bit like Harvey Weinstein. Okay. Winner of Bad Egg of the Year, multiple years.
Multiple years.
We
might give it again to him this year.
We might do, Benjamin. I don't know if he's particularly done anything this year, but...
I might give it to him just the same.
Is he in jail?
No.
He's not? Okay.
He's still in the process of being sentenced.
Anyway, it's good. It's not a bad horror film. I was kind of thinking this was the year of horror's renaissance in the mainstream.
It did seem to have a few hits.
There were a few big horror hits this year. Smile being one of them, of course, and Justin Long's In the Basement. What was that called?
Barbarian.
Barbarian was a big hit as well. And
or in Spain, Es Barbarian.
Es Barbarian, see. And Terrifier 2 was a big hit as well. So,
was that a hit?
Year. That was a big hit, yeah. It was a big... Nope, of course. So it was a big year for horror. So I really thought Smile was going to be... But it felt like a kind of derivative combination of It Follows, The Ring, that kind of thing.
That's no good.
No, but it's good. It's still a good film, but it's not the all-time classic I thought it was going to be. It was no The Babadook, Benjamin.
The Babadook is an all-time classic, Michael. Come here to me. What's the monster's deal? Full spoilers here. What's the story?
I've pretty much explained it to you. That's it. It just...
Where does it come from, though?
It leaps about from trauma from suicide to suicide, causing suicides. So it's trying to get into you to make you do a suicide in front of someone.
And how do you stop it?
Well, you don't.
Oh, you don't? It's just one of those inevitable suiciding things.
Yeah. No, but I mean, one of my problems with it was I was watching it thinking, you know what, Sam and Dean Winchester would solve this in an episode.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a job for the Winchester boys.
You know, the Winchesters would probably solve it in an episode, or Buffy would take an episode and figure it out, you know?
Buffy would take about half an episode to figure it out and then half an episode to actually take care of it.
Buffy would do it in the cold open then.
Yes, exactly. Quick stake to the heart, an ancient weapon of some kind, and a Giles glasses tilt.
Yeah, indeed, he would say. Anyway, it's still good though. I still liked it. It wasn't my favourite horror film of the year, but it was still quite good.
Speaking of your favourite things of the year, Michael, welcome!
Oh, very good. Very good.
It's the 5th annual Mickeys, Michael.
The 5th annual Mickey Awards. Who would have known when we accidentally started this 5 years ago we would still have the 5th annual Mickeys? I don't know if we did it last year, did we?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think we did.
So last year was weird.
Technically, it's the 4th annual Mickeys, but last year was a disaster.
Yeah, look, last year had the worst thing. The best thing about last year was that it was over.
Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. Every year that I survive, I'm pretty happy about. You know.
Yeah, very good.
But come here to me, Michael. We have a few different categories to make our way through. So let's start with the fan favourite, Michael, the top dog, I suppose, and the thing we review most here: films.
Let's just do the opposite of every award show in history and start with the big hitter.
Start with the big hitter. You can tune out after this, ladies and gentlemen. What does it matter? What does it matter?
Very good, Benjamin. Very good. So I suppose what we should probably do is mention a couple of faves without giving away our favourite.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so we could mention a couple of faves, a couple of things that we enjoyed during the year. And Benjamin, just for the listeners to know, we're doing 2 divisions in film because of the nature of this very podcast. We're going to do favourite film of the year.
Yeah.
And if it so happens that our favourite film of the year happens to not be a comic book film, then we're also going to do favourite comic book film of the year.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Very good then.
All right.
Benjamin, do you want to start or will I start?
Michael, you start. You're a man with far better opinions than I.
I wouldn't say I have better opinions than you, Ben. I've just, spent a bit more time thinking about them. I watched a lot of horror this year.
Yeah.
A good amount of horror. I saw Hellraiser. I saw Halloween. I saw bloody... What was the one we were just talking about?
Bloody...
Smile.
Esmile,
as it's called in Spain. I saw Morbius, Benjamin, the most horrifying film of the year.
Okay.
But I think my favourite horror film of the year was Barbarian.
Go on, tell me more.
We reviewed it only a few weeks ago, but it was a nice combination of horror and the unexpected. Now, the big problem with it, the big problem with a lot of films these days, is the big scary monster creature at the end turned out to be visually almost identical to the big scary monster creature in Smile.
It's just a big grey thing, is it?
It's just a big, nudie, scary woman.
Is that why it isn't Smile?
Yeah, cinema's going through a phase of being terrified of big, scary, nudie women. Like big, huge, tall, scary, nudie women.
Why?
I don't know, Benjamin. I think that's why we need Gwendolyn Christie and Elizabeth Debicki to hold back the tide of people being scared of tall women.
Elizabeth Debicki?
Yeah, Elizabeth Debicki. Famous tall woman.
Saucy bacon and a couple of bickies?
Not Elizabeth the Biscuit, Ben.
Okay.
Elizabeth Debicki. She's from England, Benjamin. She was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. She's currently playing Princess Diana on The Crown. Alongside
noted actress Gwendolyn Cup of Tea.
Ah, very good. Anyway, that was probably my favourite. No, it wasn't. Sorry, because my personal favourite. Ben, do you want to tell us about any of your films of the year before we talk about my personal
a lot of mine are comic book based, Michael. So I'd have to hold off. The one that I saw that kind of really wowed me, as it were, Michael. One of them was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I quite enjoyed that film.
A very good film.
That was a good elf film. It doesn't take my top spot, Michael. I have in the past, Michael, been accused of recency bias.
You have, Benjamin. Quite recently, actually.
Quite recently, as it happens. And I would say that that's a fair cop. I have a very short term retention of things, and usually most recent wins. I saw that one Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I thought that was a film that really did stuff that I haven't seen in films before. A multitude of different styles, phenomenal special effects, really bizarre sense of humour, and a very heartfelt message that never made me kind of go, ugh, cringe.
Yeah. The whole family love thing ended up being very well handled in that film.
Yeah, I think it went really well, as a concept. Another film that I really enjoyed this year, far more recently, Michael, was See How They Run, which we didn't review on the podcast, but that was the Sam Rockwell, Saoirse Ronan gig.
Oh, is that Been and Gone?
It's Been and Gone. It's very good.
Where Sam Rockwell's a detective and
he's a London copper,
right?
And Saoirse Ronan is an Irish copper, and it's very good.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was really good. It's out on streaming, Michael. You can find it in a few different places. Yeah.
Another film that go on. Sorry, are you?
No, go on. I'm done.
Another film from this year that I really enjoyed and kind of came out of nowhere and surprised me again. A horror again, Benjamin.
Horror.
It was a horror year for me. It was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I didn't see it, Michael.
Benjamin,
and I wanted to see it.
It didn't appeal to me.
Right.
Conceptually. The trailer didn't appeal to me. The concept of, Gen Z influencers being killed off in a mansion.
I would have thought that was your ideal Saturday night, Michael.
Only bloody if I was doing it, Ben. Taking them down a peg. TikTok this, you son of a bitch. But no, it didn't really appeal to me, and I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, and I really, really did enjoy it. Now, they lured me in with, what's his name? The tall, handsome fella, Lee...
Cup of Tea.
Lee Cup of Tea.
Lee Pace is his
Lee
name.
Pace. They lured me in with Lee Pace and Maria Bakalova. But that, I really enjoyed it. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies was an excellent film. Thoroughly enjoyable. Not
Very
quite
enjoyable.
my film of the year, though, Ben.
Not quite your film of the year, Michael. So I suppose that probably winds us down, Michael, to what was your film of the year?
Well, for me, Benjamin, my favourite non-comic book film of the year was Jordan Peele's Nope.
That's a very solid pick, Michael. Go on, tell me more about that.
Nope was very good, Benjamin. Now, if you remember back to the beginning of the year,
go on,
cast your mind back.
I don't want
cast
to,
it back there.
It was a bad place. I don't want to go back.
Okay, yeah. Look, you've had a tough year, Ben. But look, I thought that Nope was specifically made to appeal to me because I have a particular graw for rainstorms and alien abductions and mysteries, and there's something that particularly tickles my funny bone, Benjamin, about alien abduction stories where the people have a slight chance to fight back and maybe solve the mystery.
That's always good, isn't it?
It just appeals to me, Ben. And I was super excited about Nope.
Go on.
Because I thought the the horror stylings of Jordan Peele, him what did Get Out.
Yeah, that there fella that did that there got out.
That there fella that did Get Out, Benjamin, combined with my personal favourite genre of... one of my two favourite genres of horror.
Aliens.
Aliens. But not just aliens. Specifically, aliens abducting people in kind of spooky rural settings.
Yeah.
I love it. And then it turned out to be not about that at all.
No.
It turned out to be about... Can we do spoilers for Nope, Benjamin? Is it...
Oh, I think we're well within the territory of Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to do a mild spoiler for Nope then. It turned out, Ben, not to be about aliens at all. It turned out to be more akin to a cautionary tale about treating nature responsibly and watching out for big spooky shark monsters that live in the sky in the desert.
Which none of us saw coming.
None of us saw it coming at all, Benjamin. And as a mid-film twist, it left me just personally so disappointed. But I don't think I've ever made you laugh that particular laugh before, Ben. That was a new one.
That's my Oscar Wilde laugh. That's my titillating Victorian tea spill laugh.
Yeah, that was very good. But
that's my laugh for 2023. I'm just testing it now.
No, is that your new laugh for 2023? Yeah. That's terrible.
It's my new one.
But Benjamin, it was such a well-made film, and the performances were so good, and by Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer particularly, it really drew me in and sold me on this experience, which ended up being more akin to Jaws or Tremors.
Yeah, a real classic monster
monster mash movie, including a weird German movie director. And the fact that it sold me on that, despite my own hype and excitement, I think that's why I think it will be the most memorable film of the year for me.
Phenomenal little bit of work there, Michael. Phenomenal little bit of work.
From Jordan Peele mostly.
Nice reviewing from you, though.
Thank you.
Good solid reviewing. Michael, my pick for movie of the year is, without shadow of a doubt, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Get up out of here with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. Michael, no great fan of stage plays am I. No, you hate them, Benjamin. I tried to take you to one once and you said, I'm not going into the fucking theatre.
I'm not going to a fucking theatre. What do you think I am? Some kind of theatre lover?
I'd have to be quiet, and if I make a scene, the actors will glare at me.
I'm better than most of the people on the stage, Michael. And then you said, calm down.
Calm yourself.
Calm down. And then we didn't go, and I ruined the evening, Michael. I did.
You did. It was dreadful. We went to see a film instead. And I still made a scene, Michael. Yeah, that's grand. The actors didn't glare at you.
They didn't glare at me. They would have, though, if they were there. But anyway, Michael, come here to me. Aside from the fact that we've never attempted to go to the theatre together, I sometimes find it very hard to stomach theatre plays because, theatre acting is a little bit over the top, Michael. But
it's a heightened experience.
Michael, and you have to suspend that disbelief when you go on in there. But I find it quite tough sometimes. But this, Michael, is a phenomenal thing because it's written by Irish playwright Martin McDonagh.
W.B. Yeats /
Martin McDonagh. And Martin McDonagh is a master of translating his work to screen. And what we got in this, Michael, is essentially a stage play in limited locations, set on a fictional Aran island, Michael, called Inisherin.
Very good.
And the pacing and the acting here made my jaw drag along the floor. He creates this amazing, sinister tension from the start of the film, and it carries its way throughout. You never know exactly what's going to go wrong in it, which I really enjoy. There's not a single jump scare in the lot. There's just a slow creeping dread.
Wait, is it horror?
No, it's not at all. No, it's just it's existentially horrific.
Okay.
I think I said to you, Michael, you wouldn't want to be an insecure Irish man going in there. So I didn't really enjoy the experience, to be honest. It harrowed me, because I am, by definition, an insecure Irish man.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. And you'd be coming out of it questioning whether or not you had any friends and what the meaning of friends was, and
what even is it?
What even is a friend? Such an amazing film. Brendan Gleeson was astounding in it, but I think the man who steals the show, without shadow of a doubt, is Colin Farrell. He just plays this heartbreaking fool of a man, and it's phenomenal. Carter Burwell does the soundtrack for it. The visual composing of the shots, the use of light, the color grading, gorgeous stuff. And like I said, that tension carries you throughout the film, and you're just dreading what's coming by the end. It's a phenomenal film. It's a phenomenal achievement, and a really dark look at, I suppose, the Irish psyche and how it all pans out. Oh, what a film!
Oh, I don't want to watch it now. I don't think I'm emotionally ready.
I don't think anyone is. I think it wrecks you.
Oh.
It's
Benjamin,
very good. Yeah,
not a great year, not a banner year for comic book films.
No,
not one of the best.
No,
in recent memory. I tell you, I didn't hate Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Nor did I. Not a bad film.
No, not a terrible film. But I think I also didn't hate Black Adam.
Okay.
Which I suspect you still haven't seen. And
I haven't seen. No.
No one would ever begrudge you that. League of Extraordinary Super Pets was all right, entertainment.
I never got to see that one, Michael. How did you get to see that one?
I don't know if it's officially out or not, so let's say I maybe haven't seen it.
On the streamings. Okay.
I'm doing a big wink, Ben.
I know, I can see it. I can see your big wink.
Benjamin, oh no.
Old Michael, a big winking. Oh. I'm not going to say your second name because we haven't said it in a while, and it's good to keep us off the interwebs.
Benjamin, I don't know if I like the fact that you can see my big wink, but look, that's neither here nor there. There's a standout easy winner for best comic book movie of the year to me, and what I wonder is there a standout clear easy winner for best comic book movie of the year for you also?
Michael, I did think I had mine picked fairly early on, and that was Suicide Squad.
Go on, was that not last year?
I think it might have been last year, which is why it doesn't really work now.
Yeah, I think that was last year,
which I've now deftly forgotten.
It was 2021.
That is very unfortunate for me, Michael, but I have to say, anything Marvel put out this year, I wasn't that into.
Yeah, it hasn't been Marvel's best year ever, Benjamin. Let's just put it that way.
It hasn't been Marvel's best year ever, and we will put it that way. I enjoyed Werewolf by Night.
Barely a film.
Although I think, that falls into the category of barely a film. But yeah, I do think there is a clear winner.
Okay, let's do a countdown.
Yeah, we'll do a 3, 2, 1.
And we'll do a 3, 2, 1.
After 1, we'll say our film.
Okay. Are you going to say what you really think, or are you going to try and do like a comedy bit?
No, I'm going to say what I really think.
Okay, I'll say what I really think too. We'll sacrifice the opportunity to do a comedy bit.
Yeah.
And just see if we agree. Ready?
Cool. 3, 2, 1. The Batman.
The Batman. Yay! Okay. We did it.
Okay. No comedy bit. But just two lads that agree with each other. I think, Michael, a clear winner across the board for even a best film category might be The Batman.
Look, I didn't bring it up when I was talking about the earlier films because I didn't want to give it away, but it would have been in my top 5 films of the year, I would say. Yeah,
easily one of the best films of the year.
It was up there with Nope and The Batman, and mostly horrors.
I mean, it's probably one of the best depictions of Batman I've ever seen.
Well, there haven't been many bad depictions of Batman in live action.
I wouldn't have said that. I would have said this is one of the best.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I saw it twice, even though it's quite long.
I also saw it twice, even though it's quite long.
Yeah, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the kind of semi-realistic take on Batman. It's not a perfect film by any imagination. The final showdown, I thought, was a bit of a damp squib.
A damp squib.
Which is funny because it's about a flood.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, we did criticise it earlier on in the year, Michael, for having perhaps a tacked-on fourth act.
Yes.
It was a film that could have finished much earlier.
That's what they do. That is what they say, isn't it?
And possibly suffered quite a bit from its fourth and over-the-top act, I suppose.
Yeah, the act where it kind of became a comic book film.
Yeah, I don't know why they pushed that so hard. But anyway, they did, and that's fine.
Yeah, it was like, there's a murder mystery afoot, and can Batman solve the murder mystery? And it's twists and turns, and then it's like, yes, he can. He did solve the murder mystery, and he found the villain, and he said, "Oh, there's a fucking big, huge flood."
Yeah, why don't we just do the why don't we just do the second act of Dark Knight Rises and destroy Gotham in sections and have him deal with that? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
for a fledgling superhero.
For the last 45 minutes of a nearly 3-hour film, for some reason.
Look, Robert Pattinson proved everybody wrong and kind of smashed
me, I supported him.
You're very supportive of Robert Pattinson.
I thought he could do it the whole time.
Yeah, and I think he smashed it. I think Paul Dano made a pretty phenomenal Riddler.
Yes.
I think we'll never forgive James Gordon for plugging in that flash drive with no precautions taken.
What was he doing?
What was he doing?
You don't just plug a flash drive into a computer that someone's given you.
You just don't do that. That's not how it works.
I wouldn't even plug a flash drive into my computer that you gave me, Ben. If you said the audio for next week's episode is on this, I wouldn't even plug it in.
No, that's probably a wise decision, Michael.
Just smack it with a hammer.
I'd virus bomb you.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah. But I think even the feel of that particular Gotham City...
Zoe Kravitz, Ben. You forgot about Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. I did forget about Zoe Kravitz. Very good Catwoman.
Yes, very good.
Very good Catwoman. I really enjoyed the Gotham that they created. Like, I thought it was a very comic book accurate Gotham. I thought it had a nice feel to it. You really feel that sense of corruption in it. I think he was the best Batman I've ever seen in terms of movement and tactics.
Go on.
As well. Like, I enjoyed... So there's a few times where we get to see Batman kind of cut loose. One of them is... And he, at the beginning of the film, he constantly takes the head-on approach and thinks that's the way to do it. And he kind of learns slowly over time that maybe if I was a dark knight of the shadows, perhaps, it might work a little bit better. And we get to see that transition in film from... head-on approach to cutting out the lights and using darkness. And I think it was done really well. One of my favourite parallels is the first time he tries to take the Iceberg Lounge and the second time he tries to take the Iceberg Lounge.
Very good.
Exact same, but very different approaches. I really liked it. I think Colin Farrell did a phenomenal job as Oswald Cobblepot.
Colin Farrell wasn't in it, Ben. If Colin Farrell had been in it, I would have noticed.
Yes, we all would have noticed, Michael. I think that was very, very good. I just think it was a great film. I think for a 3-hour film, a nearly 3-hour film, it flew by, pun intended. And it was just very good.
Excellent, Benjamin. Let's move on to, very important to say this, not worst film of the year, just the most disappointing film of the year for us.
Okay.
All right, it's not worst film of the year because we could go for that for hours.
Yeah.
It's the one that most disappointed us. For example, Benjamin, I was a little bit disappointed by Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness because it wasn't really a Multiverse of Madness, was it?
No, it was a couple of weird scenes.
Exactly. Doctor Strange and 2 other universes of inconvenience.
Yeah, but that title wouldn't be as catchy, in fairness.
Considerably less catchy.
Yeah.
And I did find that disappointing, but the rest of the film was good enough.
Yeah, that it carried on through, Michael. I think so.
Wakanda Forever left me a bit cold as well, Benjamin.
Yeah, look, you were never going to get a great sequel to Black Panther without Chadwick Boseman. And I don't want to say that to disparage any of the actors that put their greatest effort into Wakanda Forever. But the fact of the matter is, Chadwick Boseman made the first film. His unfortunate passing would have cast a giant shadow over the second film. And I feel like it would have been very hard to bounce back from that.
Yeah,
with the same.
It struggled because it was overlong, and the sincere scenes where they dealt with the loss of Black Panther were incredible, and then the rest of it was quite silly and camp in places, and there was a weird tonally, that film. It just was a bit all over the place.
Yeah, and I think, weird tonally has been kind of the superhero theme of the year, Michael.
Very much so, Benjamin. Black Adam was exactly what I was expecting, and maybe a tiny bit more, so...
Well, that's pretty good
all
then.
Right. Yeah, that did all right in terms of disappointingness, in that it wasn't really.
Yeah, okay.
And
Spider-Man Far From Home?
That was last year.
Was it last year? What the fuck is going on with time, Michael?
Well, it just keeps progressing, just keeps chugging along.
Oh man, I'm over here with the kind of early form of movie dementia.
I think it was October or November 2021, Benjamin.
My goodness.
It was a year and a bit ago. But I tell you what, there's a clear and easy winner for the most disappointing comic book film of the year award from me.
Yeah, I think we could do our 3, 2, 1 again and probably come up with the same answer again. Would you like to?
Okay, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it was Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, again, Benjamin, this is our most disappointing film of the year, the most disappointing film of the year for us. And I think the fact that this podcast and you and I, one of the things we most have in common is that we both thought Ragnarok was unexpectedly one of the best films we'd ever seen.
One of the finest films we've ever seen. Definitely one of the finest, if not the finest films in the MCU canon.
It'll probably stand the test of time more than a lot of them.
Yeah, I think there's a rewatchability to that film that's phenomenal. But I mean, and I think because of the success of that, and because you replicated that experiment in getting Taika Waititi back on board, Tessa Thompson back on board, the goofy Thor, himbo Thor back on board, I think we really expected a similar kind of feat of comic book movieing, and it's not what we got.
No, it's no use.
It's not a good film, and it doesn't
really
hold
isn't.
up. The second viewing didn't improve it for me.
No, it made it worse.
And made it worse. Yeah, because a lot of the humour on first viewing is kind of depending on your first viewing to catch you off guard.
Like a goat just screaming at you.
Which is funny once.
Funny once, like a young Taylor Swift.
I don't know if I'd make it the whole film.
Exactly.
And then I think, one of the things that we saw a little bit after that was one of the deleted scenes, with a much more heartfelt Zeus. And I think that disappointed me even more because there's clearly two very different films that have been cut together here.
Oh, or are there even? Or is there just a smattering of weird, tonally different scenes?
I mean, we'll never know, Michael. But all I can tell you is it feels like Taika Waititi gave up on this film very early on.
Yeah. Even in interviews, he didn't seem to be that behind it.
I can't see how he would be, Michael, because it's not great work, and it's not what we've come to expect from Taika Waititi.
Still one of my favourite actors and directors.
Yeah, still doesn't change the fact, but very poor film. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Just a mismatched muddle, very disappointing.
Yeah.
Benjamin, let's move back onto more positive stuff and talk about TV.
Go on. One of my favourite.
A very big year for TV.
Huge
year for TV, Benjamin.
Huge year
Wednesday.
for TV. Wednesday, very good, apparently.
No, it's all right.
All right, apparently,
but very popular.
One of my straight out the gate winners, Michael, was Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, Benjamin, I think easily the best comic book TV property of the year.
Hands down, and that'll really grind the gears of a lot of Marvel fans. But the Marvel TV shows this year, Michael, have been meh.
I think meh is even possibly a bit of a kindness to them.
Probably. But I think in terms of comic book films, you're not going to beat Peacemaker. Phenomenal film, brilliant acting.
TV show, Ben.
TV show. Way more than I expected from John Cena.
Did you see him when he was playing the piano, Ben? He was doing a song.
The range, Michael. The range.
The absolute range on that man. He can do a weird-looking faced sad fella. He can do a weird-looking faced happy fella. He can do any sort of range as long as it's a weird looking fella.
Phenomenal. Really enjoyed that film. Very satisfying.
TV show, Ben. It was a TV show.
I keep saying film. Sorry. Very satisfying TV show. From start to finish, perfectly paced. Great payoff. Two excellent kind of climaxes.
Yeah, excellent twists and turns. Even the supporting characters who, when they were introduced, I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to like any of these. I ended up liking each and every one of them by the end of it.
Every last one of them.
Even the villain, the White Dragon, was a real arsehole.
So compelling to watch, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part about it. You're there watching going, what's going on with this guy? What's this guy's deal? Like, subtly hinted at in the early episodes, slowly built towards him being an absolute asshat of a human being.
Yeah.
And
really
just
good bloke.
Fucking great, man. Like, what a film. TV series.
Another, I thought, good TV series this year, and a real return to form, and I would say even more than a return to form, probably the best it's ever been, was Stranger Things season 4.
I think so. No great fan of Stranger Things am I, Michael, and I've actually skipped most of them, but I did watch season 4, part 1 of Stranger Things, and I went, this is a lot better than season 1 when I watched it.
Yeah.
And it was. I think those actors have really come into their own and made it a series worth watching.
I thoroughly enjoyed season 4. Overlong, as so many things are these days. Yeah. Overlong, and we had 3 episodes of, as we complained about at the time, we had 3 episodes of 11 in the most stereotypical high school bullying scenario we've seen since the film Carrie.
It's funny, like 11 is essentially a glorified plot device device, which is a very Irish way of saying device. She's a plot device essentially, and I think they missed the beat when they over egg her stories. We're just like, no, I don't care all that much about. Unfortunately, that entire subplot with Mike and the gang.
Yeah, they could have done without all of them. But look, we're kind of complaining about what was probably my second or third favourite TV show of the year. Yeah,
it was very good. It was very, very good. Very enjoyable. I finally dipped my toe into the Game of Thrones universe, Michael, and I watched House of the Dragon. I thought that was very good.
Oh, yes.
I watched the entirety of House of the Dragon and went, oh, this is very fucking good. And I asked some people that I trusted, should I go back and watch Game of Thrones? They're like, no, that was arguably better than the last 4 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, definitely. It felt about as good as season maybe 2 or 3 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
When Game of Thrones was really hitting its stride. But Benjamin, I think that we're going to agree on the favourite TV show of the year. I think we are as well. I think that our favourite TV show of the year came a little bit as a surprise from, of all people, Benjamin, Apple TV.
Yes, a real dark horse, Michael. We should point out before we go any further, this isn't a bit. We haven't agreed this beforehand.
We haven't spoke about this.
This is off the cuff.
This is supposed to be au naturel.
But
my favourite TV... I wish I could now look up something fast enough, some shite that was on Apple TV. Hold on. My favourite TV show of the year, Benjamin, I'm furious. Oh, the internet's letting me down. Fuck it, it was Severance.
It was Severance. Severance fucking smashed it out of the park as a high concept sci-fi show. Nothing fantastical about it.
A little bit, Benjamin. You can't be going separating people's brains into two separate characters.
I mean, no great jaw-dropping set moments, no explosions, no heightened tensions. Very personal, high-concept sci-fi about a real debate on private versus public lives. What are you entitled to in a workspace? I mean, touching on a lot of the themes that were being discussed post-COVID, I suppose. In the wake of work from home and stuff like that, what does a corporation have a right to demand of you?
Exactly.
And how far would you go to separate yourself from your corporate life? Harrowing stuff. Ben Stiller's TV directorial debut or series directorial debut. I don't know if we can call it TV if it's on Apple TV. But phenomenal stuff. Like, again, when we talk about cast there, Michael, phenomenal casting across the board.
Very good performance by weird looking fella Adam Scott.
Adam Scott just keeps getting better with age, Michael. Anything he's in, I'll watch.
Literally anything
he's in. I have watched his graduation video 6 or 7 times now, Michael. It was great.
I had never heard of Britt Lower before, Ben, but I thought she was very, very good as the kind of new girl in the office. Yeah,
she makes a phenomenal one. I think, again, it's funny, I talked about the Banshees of Inisherin and kind of that slow creeping dread, Michael. Nothing captured atmosphere and tension quite like this show.
Her in particular, her attempts to escape were amazing.
Yeah, just really, really weird stuff where she constantly had to go back. I think spoilers for the show there very, very quickly. But I think the love story between Irving and Bert was phenomenal. This bizarre kind of love story that was going on. Great stuff. The standout for me, I think, despite all the great performances from the likes of Adam Scott and Britt Lower, bloody Tremel Tillman, Milchick, the enforcer, phenomenal.
Very good.
Phenomenal. Him
Great
and Zach Cherry playing off each other, mind-blowing stuff.
The only disappointment I had with the Ben is I thought that was a bit of a weak ending.
There was a little bit of a weak ending, Michael, but hopefully we'll get to see it rebuilt in season 2.
Very good, Benjamin. Let's talk about the TV. Again, not the worst TV show of the year, just the TV show that most disappointed us of the year. And again, for TV shows, we're mixing everything in together, comic book and otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Moon Knight.
Yeah, well, the Moon Knight takes it for me.
Yeah,
So
Moon Knight's the champion for me as well. Yeah. I think, I didn't go in with much expectation to anything this year, Michael, but I just expected more from Marvel TV. I really did. And I know that's silly. I know that's a pointless thing to say. To expect anything from a show is a bit silly. But I just didn't think it was their best work. And, a lot of them started out strong. I really thought She-Hulk was going to be better than it was by the end.
She-Hulk started out quite alright, other than the kind of man-hating in the first episode.
Well, I didn't even mind that as much as you did.
Yes, because you hate men, Benjamin.
I just hate myself, Michael, and I happen to be a man.
It's all part of the thing. It's all part of the island.
It's a whole part of it. It's a very complex. The human psyche, Michael, a mystery to this day.
No one will ever understand it.
No one will ever understand it, Michael, except maybe AI. I think that's making some pretty good strides.
Yes, or Sigmund Freud.
Or Sigmund Freud. He seemed to have a good insight. Cigars and penises and the like.
I think it was all penises, yeah.
I think it was all penises, Michael. I think that's what he was getting at. It's all penises. It's written on his gravestone, as far as I remember.
Sigmund Freud. It's all penises.
It's all penises. But I think that's what made them so disappointing for me, because I had a similar experience with Moon Knight, where the first 2 episodes of Moon Knight made me genuinely excited. And I said, fuck yeah, this is going to be a weird, dark, schizophrenic, all over the place, unreliable narrator story. Yeah. And then it essentially turned into a weird, prolonged series of the Power Rangers.
Yeah, just weird skits. And there was one episode where they were exploring a tomb, and it was just dull.
That episode in the tomb was fucking bananas.
Or the episode where they went through the desert in Egypt, bumping into various characters who never showed up again and played no impact on the plot.
And then the bizarre one where they go to talk to the arms dealer.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
It was dreadful. That was dreadful, boring stuff. Benjamin, I think maybe because our this podcast deep connection to Moon Knight probably meant it was inevitable we would be disappointed by it. But what I was hoping for was season 1 of Legion combined with season 1 of Daredevil.
But I thought that's what we were getting.
Yeah, that's what it looked. Imagine, Ben, if we had got season 1, the weird psychedelic trippiness of season 1 of Legion mixed with the real life hard hitting violence of season 1 of Daredevil with Oscar Isaac.
So I think we almost got that in places, because there are certain episodes, funnily enough, like episode 1 and 2, phenomenal, good TV, weird character, excellent use of plot, really interesting switches in narrative. There's a little bit of a mystery for us to try and figure out, why is he missing dates that he set up? Why is he slick enough to set up dates in one scene but not slick enough to set them up in another? There's a lot of cool hints there at what we're going to get from Moon Knight. I think at certain points in the story we might have gotten a better show. I didn't hate the asylum scenes, because I think they had a little bit of the grain of episode 1 and 2 in them. What I couldn't stand were the filler episodes in the desert or in the pyramids or stuff like that. I couldn't understand why they kept going back to that.
Just swung wildly all over the place, like a lot of things this year, Ben. Tonally all over the place.
All over the shop.
There wasn't a Marvel show that didn't disappoint me this year, to the point that in next year's Mickeys they probably won't even make it into the most disappointing, because I had such low expectations for them. But there was one other show this year that disappointed me quite substantially.
Go on.
And even more so because it was kind of something that I had just discovered before it came out. It was Paper Girls.
Yeah, Paper Girls was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really had high hopes for Paper Girls. But at the end of the day, Moon Knight is my choice as well, Benjamin. It was easily the most disappointing show of the year. Benjamin!
Yeah.
Let's move on to Bad Egg of the Year.
Michael, I think without shadow of a doubt, for me, it has nothing to do with pop culture whatsoever.
Go on.
Elon Musk. Bad egg. Bad egg of the year. Just a fucking dopey pillock.
He's just causing a ruckus. My vote, Benjamin, my choice for Bad Egg of the Year for 2022 is the upper management of Warner Brothers.
Oh, man. Otherwise known as Cull Masters Supreme.
What in the holy hell are they doing? What are they doing?
Ezra Miller might be up there. They might be up there as Bad Egg of the Year as well, maybe.
Oh, you know what? I think we might have to give it to Ezra Miller.
I think we might have to give it to Ezra Miller. In the past, we have looked for people who are notably low in the moral character area, and they really take the biscuit on that.
Yeah.
They got up to all kinds of shenanigans this year, and it was not good. They were not good people.
Bringing the good name of Barry Allen into disrepute.
How dare they?
And putting the entirety of the DCU on the line.
Well, this is the thing, right? So I think this is where we can probably cast the spotlight of shame back onto the Warner Brothers executives, because they've cut huge, almost finished films like Batwoman.
Finished?
From the roster. Batgirl from the roster.
Yeah.
But they still haven't pulled the plug on Flash. And they should.
Weird, yeah.
Because they're axing everything to do with the Snyderverse. So they don't even need it for continuity. And I don't see how they think Ezra Miller's involvement is going to work in their favour. So I suppose we could give it to a combined bad egg of Warner Brothers projects and management.
The team up of Warner Brothers projects involving Ezra Miller. That's bad egg of the year.
Bad egg of the year. Ezra Miller. Dose of
Benjamin,
a human being.
I didn't read a lot of comics this year.
I read a ton, Michael.
Did you? Well, I mean, I did read quite a few, but I didn't read many mainstream ones, so it's hard to pluck out. I have just one. There's one that stands out to me as the most interesting thing that I've read this year that I'm going to remember. Would you like to hear what it is?
Go on.
It was, Benjamin, one that recommended to me by you. It was The Six Sidekicks of Buster Scruggs.
That was a classic, wasn't it? It was a real good comic for us. We really
thoroughly
enjoyed it.
Again, another one of those things this year that I didn't think I was going to like.
But it ended up being very bloody good.
But ended up being very good and very enjoyable, and stuck in my mind to the point that when I'm, even with the benefit of recency bias, it's still kind of won out for my favourite thing of the year.
That's pretty strong. Like, that's...
It was pretty early in the year, wasn't it?
At least midway. At least midway, Michael. I'm trying to
Benjamin,
think...
We had a last-minute nominee for Bad Egg of the Year. It was Jennifer Lawrence claiming she invented the concept of the female.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Look, there's no point us dogpiling on. The internet has thoroughly let her have it.
Yeah, and as they should. What a silly fucking thing to say.
It was that was brilliantly stupid thing to say.
Just very thick.
But I mean, we've seen a lot of that over the last few years. People are very disrespectful of the past when they're bigging themselves up for how progressive they are. Like it still upsets me how much credit Black Panther got for being the first black superhero.
And there's Blade in the corner just tapping his katana on the floor, being like, okay.
Tapping his katana. There's Spawn. Right. There's, it was a shite film, but there's poor old Steel. That was hard to say.
There's poor old Steel.
Steel, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Look at Steel over there in the corner having an awful time.
No one even fucking remembers him, like. Benjamin.
Poor old Steel.
Poor old Steel. Who is your favourite comic of the year? Sorry.
I think it's a bit of a toss-up, Michael. I've been reading quite a few here and there. I really enjoyed a bizarre webcomic adaptation from Image Comics called Kill 6 Billion Demons.
I've never heard. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, we'll be doing it on Collecting Issues next year in the new year, Michael. So you'll be able to sink your teeth into it there. I think that was very good. I really, really enjoyed that. It's kind of a bizarre cosmic odyssey to do with angels and demons, but it's filtered in through kind of Sumerian myth and stuff. Very good, Michael. Very good. Okay, very bizarre, tasteful stuff. Very, very good. I really enjoyed Once and Future this year, Michael. I got into Once and Future, and I think their volume 3 and 4 came out this year, and I thought those were phenomenal. That's the bizarre Arthurian myth, kind of saga. And I really, really like those. But I tell you, one of the things I enjoyed the most for its sheer, I suppose, classic superhero-iness would probably be Nightwing Leaping into Light.
Oh, you did enjoy that, and you made me read it, and I was very upset with you.
Yeah, you didn't enjoy it at all, I don't think.
No, I was like, why are you making me read mainstream Batman stuff?
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Why am I reading mainstream Batman stuff?
I'm much too edgy for mainstream Batman stuff.
Yeah, so I think I kind of there's the hipster in me, the comic book hipster in me, Michael, is screaming at me at the moment. But I think I probably would pick Leaping into Light as one of my favourite reads of the year.
Very good, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin, our final award of the year is whose year was it anyway?
Yeah. So who's the winner?
Who's the winner of
2022?
This year?
Yeah.
In previous years, Benjamin, it was Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige, he's not winning it this year, I'll tell you that much.
He's not winning it this year. Benjamin, none of the previous winners are winning it this year. Other previous winners include Chris Pratt.
Oh, God. Did he win?
Well, Benjamin, remember when he had Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World?
Yeah, do you remember when he was a decent human being?
Throw a rock without hitting something amazing that Chris Pratt was in. Now, not so much. I'll tell you what, Ben.
Yeah.
Do you have any nominations? I think I have one that I think is a pretty clear one. In terms of social media and pop culture presence, especially in the genre sphere. Do
you mean Jenna Ortega?
No, I wouldn't have said Jenna Ortega. Next year, I think, might be Jenna Ortega's year.
She might reach stratospheric levels.
Exactly.
By that stage. Yes, very good. But I'm not sure, Michael. I struggle to be positive, as you know.
I think the person whose year it is, Benjamin, and this is a person who kind of, if not exclusive to the genre that we so enjoy, or the genres that we so enjoy, kind of made their name in horror, science fiction and superhero stuff.
Go on.
And is now one of the biggest superstars in the world. I think the winner of 2022 has to be one Florence Pugh.
Ah, yeah, that's a good shout, isn't it? Florence kind of won this year. In terms of sheer pop culture victory, in terms of current affairs victory, Michael, the bizarre culture war that broke out around Don't Worry Darling. And she came out of it smelling like roses, Michael.
Absolutely shit will not stick to Florence Pugh.
And nor should it. She's great.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
Well,
maybe shit doesn't stick to her.
Since we've buried ourselves over the likes of genuinely awful, abhorrent human being Chris Pratt, who won this award before.
It might be a bit much, but go on.
No. I think he's a real piece of work.
He's a prat, in a way.
He's a bit of a prat, living up to the namesake, as it were. But yeah, I would go with Florence Pugh. That's a good shout. I'm sure she'll be delighted to know she won the particular accolade.
Well, we won't text her and say we've given you the Mickey.
Ladies and gentlemen, look, as we said, these are our favourites. But what are your favourites? What did you think of the year? This is where we really want to hear from you on the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to skip all the other social media stuff. We want to hear it from you live and in charge. Get in touch with us on the Discord. It's down there in the link down below.
Hop up on it.
Just let us know. Just let us know what you thought. Did you agree with our picks? Disagree with our picks? There's the categories. We might post them into the Discord so that you can give us your picks ourselves. Well, I'll do it.
That sounds like a task for me. Okay, you're going to do it,
are you? I'll do it. I have them here
very
written in front of me, so I may as well. You can't vote on them because I forgot to do that before the actual episode. But
you're the best social media guy we've ever had.
And that's why I get paid the $0.
$0.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Thank you very much for listening to us all bloody year.
Our least consistent year ever, Ben.
Our least consistent year ever, ladies and gentlemen, which I really apologise for. Far more my fault than young Mickles over there.
I'm not young or apologetic.
Or apologetic in either way. But thank you very much for sticking with us, and thank you very much for listening to all our podcasts. This isn't the end of the year so far. This very Wednesday, we'll be doing an episode of Collecting Issues where we'll be taking a look at Klaus Volume 1 by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. So if you want one last little hit of that Michael and Benjamin sauce. Just go give that a listen.
Merry Christmas, one and all. See you in January.
See you in January. Goodbye.
Goodbye.